significance of psi and psi square. So we know that psi represents wave function, or it also signifies the amplitude of the electron wave. Amplitude of the electron wave. That means if you consider the electron as the wave, what is the amplitude of that? What is the amplitude of that? That's given by psi. But if you consider what is the significance, what is the use of that? See, by looking at the value of psi, you cannot get the any useful information. That is, the wave function has no physical significance. But when you square that, when you square the psi, that is psi square, this represents the probability of finding the electron in a small region space. That's known as probability density. So psi square represents the probability of finding the electron in a small region. See, if you calculate the value of psi value can be 0, it can be negative, or it can be positive. It can be positive. Okay. What's the significance of this psi? I cannot, by just looking at 0, negative, or positive, I cannot get any useful information. But when I square that, so you get the positive value for psi. So from that, you will get to know in what region of the atomic orbital. For example, you have s orbital, which is spherical in nature. If you calculate the value of psi square, it tells you in the spherical region, in the spherical surface, in which region you can find the electron, or the probability of finding the electron. See, in an atom, you cannot exactly locate the position of the electron. That's not possible. I cannot say here only the electron is. No, not possible. Instead of that, what I can tell you is, yeah, in this region, yeah, I can take this region. In this region, the probability of finding electron is maximum. That means from this side to this side, I can find the electron. So that's the meaning of probability of finding the electron in a small region of space. That is also known as probability density. Now we know that psi value can be 0, positive, or negative. Anyway, square of a negative number, you get the positive value, and here also you get the positive value. When you get the positive value, you can locate the position. For example, psi square is equal to 0 means there is no electron there. The probability of finding electron is 0. That means in that particular region, or in those regions, you cannot find the electron. You cannot find the electron. So that's the significance of psi square. So psi value itself, you cannot get the exact information about the electron. But when you square the psi, then you get the probability of finding the electron in the small region or the space. That's the significance of psi and psi square.